Hello you guys, happy Sunday. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Shop My Stash video. We are starting over in my makeup drawer so that we can go through all of the products that I have been using the last 2 weeks. I do post my Shop My Stash videos every 2 weeks. If you're interested in seeing my video for the last rotation, I will leave that linked below, as well as my playlist for 2020. I also have a 2019 playlist in case you love just binge watching Shop My Stash videos. But we are starting in my first of 2 makeup acrylic drawers so that we can talk about the products that I've been using the last couple of weeks, and then we will go ahead and shop my stash for some new products. So starting in this top drawer, we have all of my primers and foundations. Now I do have quite a few products that I am currently working on in projects. So this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer I'm working on in my Partners in Cream project, so that will obviously stay. All of my project pans will also be linked below in case you're interested in checking any of those out to see what products I'm working on and how the progress is going. I had picked up the new Ilia Beauty Super Serum Skin Tint, and I have really been enjoying this, but I have used this a ton the last couple of weeks, and I'm really wanting to finish up my Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, so I'm going to put this away for right now. This Dior foundation is also going in a project, but I am going to put this away just for a little bit. This is going to be like my go-to summer foundation. That is when I'm going to really hone in and focus on this. I haven't been making the best progress with this, but like I said, I'm sort of unofficially trying to pan or finish off my Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, and this is just kind of getting in the way of that. Okay, speaking of that tinted moisturizer, here is my Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. I'm just going to keep this going. I've really been enjoying reaching for this on days that I'm going to work, and I do have the new Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, like the reformulated one, so I want to finish this up so I can focus on my other tinted moisturizers this summer, so this will stay. My Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Foundation is going in my whole collection project pan. I am going to keep this in, as well as my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I am almost done with this, and this is going in my Roulette Pan Collab. Lots of foundations. This Revlon Candid Foundation is going in my Partners in Cream project pan. Almost done with this, so going to keep this in. And then I had pulled this Fenty Beauty Foundation to mix with my Wander Beauty Foundation, as well as my L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation, just to give it a little bit more hydration. But I am going to put this away. This is very, very light for me, and right now I do have a self-tan, so this just is not working as far as shade match is concerned. It is a nice mixer for those more mattifying foundations though. Other primers I forgot to mention. I had recently been testing out the Tula Face Filter Blurring and Moisturizing Primer. I have really been enjoying this, but reached for this so much the last 2 weeks that I feel like I should put this away and pull something else out. And then I was also testing out the Ultra Repair Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer from First Aid Beauty. I've also really been enjoying this. This is a really nice hydrating primer, but does have some grip to it as well. But because I've reached for these 2 primers so much the last couple of weeks, I've been neglecting some of my project pan primers, so I'm going to put this away as well. And then I also pulled in the Wander Beauty Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil. This I pulled in to replace the Touch and Soul Prime Essence, because they kind of both act like a first step to my primer, or that's the way that I use them, and I would like to use both of them up so that I can just move some products out of my collection. So I'm going to keep this in so I can keep working on this. Okay, moving on to the second drawer, we have concealers, powders, and bronzers. So for concealers, these 2 are currently going in projects, so I'm going to keep these 2 in. My Kosas concealer I have been using a ton of. I really like this concealer. It's really nice as like a medium coverage brightening concealer, but I did use this a ton, so I'm going to put this away. And then my Tarte Shape Tape, I have been unofficially trying to pan and using this to set like my eyelids, so I'm going to keep this in, but I will still pull at least one more concealer, which I know feels a little bit extra, but these 3 are going to stay. For powder, I have used a ton, or been reaching for this Bite Beauty powder a ton. I really like this, but I am going to put this away for a little bit. I have reached for this so much that I need to put this away so I can use something else. My Ciate London Everyday Vacay Powder, I have decided that I'm unofficially trying to pan. I have like a little less than half of this left. I feel like this wasn't that full when I got it. I did get this in BoxyCharm. So I am just going to keep this in and keep working on it. I don't have a very large powder collection, but I would just like to always be trying to focus on specific products and moving things in and out. So I'm going to keep this in. And then in this Laura Mercier powder packaging, I have the RCMA powder, or some of my RCMA powder. I reached for this quite a bit the last couple of weeks, so I will put this away, especially since I am keeping that Ciate London one, and will likely pull at least one other powder. My Milk Makeup Bronzing Stick is going in a project, so this will stay. My Kevyn Kwan Sculpting Powder also going in a project. My Urban Decay Beached Bronzer I pulled because I wanted to figure out whether or not I wanted to keep this in my collection or not. And I actually really enjoyed this, especially paired with my Kevyn Kwan Sculpting Powder. But I did reach for it enough, so I'm going to put this back. Tarte Park Avenue Princess is going in a project, so that will stay. My Hourglass bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light, I used a ton. I love this bronzer, and I believe this has been going the last 2 rotations now, and even though I want to continue to use this, I'm going to put this away for a little bit because I do anticipate that I will pull for this quite a bit this summer. So I will cycle something else in for the time being. And then I had also pulled my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It so that I could decide whether or not this was something I want to keep. I feel like this is one that I always am like, do I really want to keep this? And then every time I pull it back out, I end up really, really enjoying it. It has the slightest bit of a sheen to it, but I do really enjoy this bronzer, and I am going to keep this around. I'm not going to declutter it, but I'm going to put it away for the time being. In this bottom drawer, we have single shadows as well as my Benefit Cheekathon palette. I'm working on 2 cheek products in a project with this, so this permanently stays. I have a couple of palettes that I chose to focus on. Both of these I reached for one time, and I do really want to keep these in for the springtime. I'm going to put the ColourPop one away for the time being just because I feel like I'm more inclined to reach for this even if it's not pulled. But my Deuce palette, sometimes I need like a little bit of a reminder or a little bit of like just a little bit of a push in the direction to use this. So I'm going to keep this for one more rotation and try and use this a couple more times. And then this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow is going in a project. I did use this one in the shade Socialize one time, so I will put this away and grab a different Super Shock Shadow. And then my 2 Kaja trios I want to keep for another rotation. Okay, moving on to this side, the top drawer, we have blush. So these 2 Hourglass blushes are currently going in projects. This MAC Warm Soul blush I did reach for a couple of times. I do really enjoy this blush, but I did feel like I got some good use out of it, so I'm going to put this back. My 2 liquid blushes are going on a project. I did not reach for this one at all. This is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Intense, so I'm going to keep this another rotation. Hourglass Blush Quad is going in a project. Flower Beauty Warm Hibiscus I reached for a couple of times. This is another one I know I'll pull out again in the summertime, so I will put this back. The Ofra Chick Lit blush in collaboration with Samantha March. I really love this blush, you guys. This is so pretty, and I did get some good use out of it, but I would like to continue to play with this at least for a couple more weeks, so I'm going to keep this one in. My Alamar Cosmetics Blush Trio I reached for twice, which doesn't feel like a lot, but again, this is one I know I'll pull again in the summertime, so I will put this back. And then this Smashbox Trio is going in a project. In this drawer, we have highlighters and some lip products that I did not reach for. The bottom drawer is lip products I did reach for. So right off the bat, these 3 highlights are currently going in projects, as well as this highlighting trio. Becca Vanilla Quartz I used a couple of times. I will put this back. ABH Amrezy I reached for 1 or 2 times. I will put this back. My Artist Couture powder I reached for once, and I know this is another one I will reach for a ton in the summer again, so I'll put this away for right now. Milk Lit I reached for 1 time, but this has been in for 2 rotations now, so I'm ready to put this back. I did reach for the Laura Geller highlighting palette once. I will keep this for 1 more rotation. And then these are some lip products that I wanted to reach for but did not get around to, so I will keep all 4 of these for the time being. So then in this very messy bottom drawer are all of the lip products that I reach for. You guys might be thinking that's a lot of lip products, but please keep in mind I do film multiple videos and do like multiple looks in one day on days that I am filming. But I have a ton of gloss. Let's see. So a ton of gloss, and gloss is another thing that I can wear to work as well. I think that I will still keep this Ofra gloss pulled. This is in the shade Pink Panther, a really pretty opaque gloss. And then I'm also going to keep this little mini Dose of Colors lip gloss pulled. This was in a holiday set, or came in a holiday set, and I'm working on just finishing this up. I'm going to try and finish off as many glosses as I can this year, so I want to focus in on my minis. Ooh, there was a couple more glosses hidden in the back. I have Urban Decay Fireball. I brought this to work, meaning I reapplied this a couple times. And then also my Bare Minerals Sugar Lip Gloss. I do really like this too, but I feel like I got good use out of both of these because they're very wearable glosses. So I'll put these back. I have 3 liquid lipsticks I reached for. Leo by Lawless, Midi by ColourPop, and then this one in the shade 5, Loyalist by Maybelline. So anytime I can get any use out of my liquid lipsticks, I'm happy, so I'll put all these back so I can reach for some different ones. I always have a ton of mascara open at a time. These are the 4 that I currently have open. Ciate Wonder Wand, L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. This is one of my favorites of all time. MAC Hot and Naughty. Yep, Hot and Naughty. And then the Milk Kush Mascara. These obviously will all stay. This Dose of Color single, I'm going to move to the other side, but this is going in my Roulette Pan collab, so this will stay. I also, reached for the ColourPop Ultra Blotted Lip in the shade Zuma. I will put this away because I got a couple of uses out of this the last month or so. I have 3 liquid shadows. I'm going to keep Stila Perlina in just because these dry up so fast. I want to keep working on these, and this is like a newer one to my collection, but so pretty. The Wander Beauty one I just recently pulled into a project, and then I did get some use out of the Essence Metal Shock eyeshadow. This is really pretty as well, but I did use this, so I would like to put this away and grab a different liquid shadow to try and use. I was testing out this product from DM Beauty. This is the Dew Wet Balm. Not very impressed with this. I am going to put this away for right now. I did actually get some good use out of my ABH Aurora palette. I used this as a highlighter a few times and also used this as an eyeshadow or inner corner highlight. This is a really, really nice palette. I love this one from ABH, but because I did get some use out of it, I will put this back. And then my Tarte Clay Play one, I did not reach for at all. I might switch this over to the other side as well, or maybe I'll keep it on this side. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to keep this in and try and get some use out of this next rotation. Okay, so that is it for my acrylic drawers. Now it is time to shop my stash. Okay, my foundation and primer drawer is getting super, super full. I don't want to pull too much foundation because I feel like I do have a good amount right now, but I do want to pull one that I can mix for like making a foundation a little bit darker. So I'm going to pull this YSL Touche Éclat All-in-One Glow. I gotta find the cap for this. And then I also have not reached for this one from Revlon in a while. This is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 24-Hour Breathable. I'll grab these 2 foundations and call it good for foundation. As far as primer is concerned, I am going to grab my Flower Beauty In Your Prime Illuminating Primer. This is one of the, if not the oldest primer in my collection right now. So I would like to try and get some use out of this. And then I also have yet to try this one from Tarte. It is their Tarte Base Tape Primer. I got this in a BoxyCharm, so I will pull this and see if I can gather some thoughts on this, but this will be it for this top drawer. This is all I have in my middle drawer, my powder and concealer collection. My concealer collection, I am decluttering some, which I have set aside. That's why my concealer collection looks a little bit smaller than normal. I think for concealer, I am going to, it has been a long time since I have used my Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer, so I think I will just grab this and call it good for concealer. And then for powder, I will pull my CoverGirl Violets Healthy Powder. This is a little bit dark for me, but if I have myself tan, this works for me. So I'll pull this for a pressed powder, and then I do still have that Ciate London loose powder, so I think we should be good on powder. Here is my bronzer drawer. I feel like I have used just about all of my bronzers this year. I will pull Canyon Dreaming from MAC. This is the lighter of the two. I have both shades that released in this collection. It's been a while since I have reached for this. And then my Balm Desert is more of a summer shade. I think I'll just pull this for bronzer and then focus on some of my Project Pan bronzers. Yes. Okay, here's my overflowing blush drawer, and I feel like right now I have so much blush I'm working on in projects, so I don't want to overwhelm myself by pulling too much. I know there's a cream blush in my new drawer at the bottom that I want to work on. I think for blush, I will pull this one from ColourPop. I kind of wanted to pull this one last rotation, but pulled others instead of this, so I will pull this. This came out in their Peach collection. It is in the shade Fresh and Peachy. And then it has also been a very long time since I've used this one from, and then it's also been a very long time since I've used this one from Laura Geller. This is in the shade Tropic Hues. The Laura Geller blush formula is beautiful, but I just never reach for it. So I will grab this and then we will call it good for blush. Okay, next up we have highlighters. I have not reached for my Girl Next Door Chic Freak highlighter in quite some time from Fenty Beauty, so I will grab this, as well as Star Island from Ofra, which is this one right here, more of a champagne gold. And then if I want something a little bit more subtle, I will also pull my Essence Pure Nude highlighter. And then we should be good for highlight. Okay, down here we have my face palettes, and I do still have that Clay Play one, but I will pull, I think I'll pull Moonchild from ABH. I used Aurora last rotation, so I will use Moonchild this rotation. I also love, I'm very washed out right now. Okay, trying not to be so washed out with my lights. It's really hard because my makeup collection is in a closet, so I just feel like when I pull my light in here, it's so bright. But I pulled Aurora last week, so we'll pull Moonchild this week. This one is also very beautiful, more for inner corner highlights for me, but I can get away with Pink Heart as an actual highlight if I want to. So this will be the face palette I focus on. Okay, down here we have liquid shadows as well as like my Super Shock shadows. For liquid shadow, I do want to grab this one, I believe. It's one of the mini glitter and glows, and I've heard these minis dry up even quicker than the full size, so I definitely want to get some use out of this. This Super Shock shadow from ColourPop, I have either used this 0 times or 1 time. This is in the shade Party of 5, and this is a really cool like red shade with like a blue sort of sparkle to it, so I will pull this to replace that other ColourPop Super Shock. The next drawer down is just my eyeliners, mascaras, and that's it. But I just pull eyeliners as I need to match looks, so I never really pull anything out of here. I don't need to pull any new mascara right now, so we'll just call it good for this drawer. And then the final drawer is my new drawer, which is down here. I don't have a ton of new products. I forgot I had that new Milani, or not new Milani, but I forgot I had the Milani bronzer, and then I also want to pull my Ilia cream blush stick. lipstick. So I did pick up the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in Sunkissed, which is the second shade. I decided to go with the second shade so that hopefully it'll work for me in the summer months. And then I've had this Ilia Cream Blush for a while, but haven't gotten around to testing it. It seems like it's going to be a really nice formula, and I think that this shade is really pretty. I have mine in the shade Dreamer, so I will pull this and we will call it good for here. Now let's look at my palettes and lip products. Okay, so here is my entire palette collection. I don't know how well you'll be able to see. I have them all stored kind of like books. I'm just gonna grab 2 palettes to focus on and share them with you. So I think I'm gonna go with kind of a purple theme, and I'm gonna pull my Lila palette from Natasha Denona. This is what this looks like. And then I will also pull my Norvina palette from ABH, and we will go for like a springy, purpley sort of look. So those will be the 2 other palettes I toss in my drawer to focus on. And then as far as lips are concerned, all of these are filled with lip products. So I think I'm just going to, what's been working well for me is really just to like grab lip products as I use them, but I'll pull a couple to focus on. I'll pull Buxom Dolly as well as Marc Jacobs what is this? Mocha Chocolate Latte. This is the lip gloss stick. And then for a liquid lipstick, I will pull, I'll pull Persona OG because it's been a while since I've reached for this. But other than that, I will just, again, pull the lip products as I use them and share them with you next week, which ones I was able to use. Actually, it's been a long time since I've used this Flower Beauty liquid lipstick too, which I used to really love. This is in the shade Bare Honey, so I will grab this as well. This is a nice nude lip product. Alright, you guys, and there we have it. Another new rotation, new drawers with new stuff. I am really excited to be cycling through some new products, to be testing some new products, and to be using some old favorites. You guys will have to leave me a comment down below and let me know what products you are going to be reaching for this week. I would love to hear from you guys. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and supporting my channel, and I will catch you in my next one.